Have you ever stopped to think about the fans behind a band? What is it about the music that keeps fans coming back for more? Or is there more? My name is Renae Lipsmeyer, and I am the host of this podcast, The Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. Each week, a fellow DMB fan joins the show to discuss their journey with the band. Welcome to the Space Between Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of a band that has been making music for over 30 years. So if you don't know what band we are talking about the Dave Matthews Band. And if you are not a fan, this might not be the podcast for you, but if you're interested in hearing what a band's fan base looks like, well then keep listening, because that is what we are going to talk about. So of course, any band that has been making music for over 30 years has such a large fan base, and that fan base is filled with people from all over the globe and all ages. And so today is a special day because my guests are just that. We have a mom and a son on the show today, and they are both going to talk about their separate Dave journey. So I'm so excited to have my guests on today. Thank you guys so much for being willing to share your journey with the world. So guys, let's open up by telling who you are. You know, I will let you say how old you are. I think that's important when we're talking to people under the age of 30. I think that's really important, just so that the listeners know, like, okay, this is really cool. So who you are, how old you are, and we'll talk about when the first time you heard of this band is, and y'all's journey, of course, is very different. So Mom, I'm going to let you kind of start that journey, and then Trip, we'll kind of put you back into that as soon as you were born and old enough to listen to this. So guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Who in the world are you?
Go ahead, bud.
I'm Trip. I live in Amarillo, Texas. I am 13 years old, and I was born here.
Yeah, that's a good place to be from. I was born and raised in Texas, so I love the state of Texas.
And I'm Megan, or some people call me MJ for Megan Jane. I always wear a Green Bay Packer hat to Dave's shows. I'm kind of known for that. And Trip is named after Trip and Billy's, of course.
Hell yeah. I honestly did not know that. I love that.
So we've got a Jane, the song that Jane likes, and
yes,
we've got our, setups there. I learned about the Dave Matthews Band in a sociology class in high school as a sophomore. I had to do a CD swap, and I think I took in Alanis Morissette, and I ended with Crash.
Dave oh yeah, what a good one.
And that actually released on my birthday when I was 12, I think, because I'm now 40. I just had my 40th birthday.
Happy birthday!
So, woohoo! And we have Mother's Day this weekend, so this works out pretty good.
This is a great Mother's Day gift to talk about Dave with your child. I mean, wow. It's come full circle.
It has. And thank goodness for him, because I didn't get to start going to shows until about 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother and I went to shows. He was my concert buddy, and then he was gone for a little while, and so now Trip is my concert buddy.
I love that so much. Right? Exactly. It gets really expensive when more than one person in your family go, but it's beautiful and it's worth it, of course. So let's go back to CD swap. What kind of, you said this was a sociology class? Is that what kind of class it was? Yeah, sociology class. So you're learning about different kinds of music, right? So you traded off Alanis Morissette, a great one to trade off. You got, oh God, she's still great. I mean, she's still killing it, and just had a baby like not too long ago. I'm like, what? This is amazing. I don't know. She was busy in her 20s and 30s, I guess. So, so when you put that CD in, well, first let's back up. Had you ever heard of them? Like when you received that CD, did you know who that was?
Didn't know at all.
No, didn't know. So you put it in and you're listening to it, and what are your thoughts?
I said, I need to listen to this the whole way home and drive around and keep listening. Because I had a CD player with a removable, thing.
Oh, shit. You were fancy.
I was real cool. Get inside so nobody would steal my stuff, right?
Yes.
Trip doesn't know about taking the CD.
No, good Lord. Boy, this band has been through many decades, and with those decades come the advancement of technology, right? When they first came out in 1991, of course, people were trading tapes, and then it evolved to CDs, and then it evolved to, let's see, what would we do next? Like digital music, I guess, after CDs, right? And so now it's available in any way, on your phone. You can just access to any music. Is so beautiful. But back in those days, it was hard to get your hands on live shows. So what were the next steps after you listened to that CD and you're like, hey, this is amazing? Like, how do you dig into this band?
I kept that CD. I asked the person that traded with me if I could keep it. And it's at my parents' house up in, my old room.
Oh, wow.
Listen, so my little things are there. And so I started collecting the live albums when they started doing those, like the CD with the thicker things. I've passed them on the Trip. I think he's holding on to the Alpine one. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Because that was a live trackside I was at. So I was like, you have to have it and guard it with your life.
Guard it with your life. Yeah. So how long did it take you? Of course, so you were what age when that happened?
I was about 16.
About 16.
I was in high
okay.
school. And I didn't go to shows until I was almost out of college because I bowled in college. I was on the bowling team. So weekends or traveling for concerts, and I was broke college kid.
Yeah.
I was bowling. So didn't have time to go do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I love with going to shows from that first Dallas show that I went to.
So what year was that?
2005.
2005. I mean, what a great time. I mean, there's not a bad time to see them, but the early 2000s, I think, were a great time to see them live. So what were your thoughts, and often people say, I hear them, I fell in love with them, but then when I saw them, it was a different feeling. Do you remember what your thoughts were when you saw them the first time?
Yeah, I've got goosebumps now that you're talking about it. Like, I can feel it like almost all over again. I never was up close for a long time. I was in the back lawn or back seats. I mean, it took a while to get towards the front. And some of the stories that have unfolded since. But I just remember going, I have to keep going to these shows.
Yes.
This is now an addiction. And it's better to be addicted to this than other things.
It could be much worse things, right? Music is a gift.
Like, Trip has a hoodie that says Dare, or what does it say? Dave, and it says keep kids on good music or something.
Yes. Oh, does it look like a Dare shirt? Like the old logo of the Dare, and it says Dave. Oh, that's amazing.
I don't know if it fits anymore. I might steal it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great one to break out anytime. So you've watched them one time. So it changes your thoughts on them. You fall even more in love with this band. And like you said, once you see them, it's kind of like it becomes an obsession, something you're like, I have to see them again. And then after the second time seeing them, no matter what time was in between the first and second, you then realize that the shows are always completely different, which is another way to kind of hook you even more, right? Was it not enough, all of the things they did on stage? But then there's also the hook of knowing that if you keep going, you're going to continue to get a different show every single time. So is that what it was like for you?
The chase
Yeah.
was on.
Yeah.
And now we have another one chasing songs over here. So, my brother ended up going to school in Milwaukee. And so he said, you've got to come to Alpine. I'm from
Yes.
Wisconsin originally. I didn't grow up there. Obviously, I've lived in Texas most of my life, but I got up there. And then I even got more hooked.
Right, Alpine. If you're listening to this and you've never, Alpine is in the state of Wisconsin. What is the name of the city?
Elkhorn.
Elkhorn, Wisconsin.
Yeah. And it is 45 minutes from Milwaukee. I have some family that lives near there. They play back-to-back nights. Like, why not?
Why not?
I have a place to stay.
Exactly.
Exactly. I consider it my home venue, even though I don't live there. Dallas is our closest show, really, that every year kind of comes up. We've traveled now a few places, but it's hard to get to the East Coast where they run.
It is. For those of us that live in the Midwest or whatever, I don't even know what you call the area we live in, because apparently it's not the South. I've thought it was the South my whole life. But then I tell people I live in Arkansas and they're like, that's not the South. And I'm like, then what is it? Because it's not really the Midwest.
I figure that's South.
I don't know. We're just kind of the forgotten state.
Well, in Texas, where we live, we're in like the square of Texas.
Yes, so you guys are so far over and up, right? Like
we're 6 hours from Dallas. Denver is 8 hours.
Wow.
So like,
there's another show.
Well, Phoenix was 12 hours. Vegas is a 13 hour.
Oh gosh. Wow.
We do have an international airport with 6 gates.
Holy moly, y'all guys are fancy. You have an international airport in Amarillo? Oh my goodness.
To Dallas.
Aha. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, has the band ever been to Amarillo ever? Never.
No.
Okay. I don't know,
not to my knowledge, and I sure would love to rally.
I mean, yeah. Because how big of a city is Amarillo? I have no idea.
We have about 200,000 people.
So big enough, definitely.
We've got some cool little concert areas, and we have the Paladuro Canyon Civic Center. But the Paladuro Canyon is beautiful. They have a amphitheater down there that it's not Red Rocks or anything, but it's the second largest canyon.
Yeah. I mean, you can't compare to Red Rocks. I mean, we will probably never see the band at Red Rocks ever again. I've never had the opportunity to see any band. I've never even been to the Red Rocks to see it, because you can go anytime and take a tour. One of my girlfriends went, when there was nothing out there, and she's like, we got on stage. I mean, it's just like a place that you can go to. And I was like, wow, I always wanted to go just to see it. But, you hear fans over and over talk about the band playing at Red Rocks, and I don't ever really know what's true, because I haven't got to sit down with the band or talk to anyone of any official capacity. But from what I've heard, they said that the band has outgrown that venue, meaning like stage wise and all of the things that they bring in, the lighting and whatever. I don't know if this is true. If it's not, text me, tell me. I don't know, but
I went there to look at it with my parents.
Yeah.
When I was little. So
yeah.
But watching that concert, I used to have DVD.
Heck yeah.
But I think I can understand that, because Fiddler's Green is wider.
Sure.
I mean, the lawn is big. I not bigger, but I don't know how big the Red Rocks go, how far back it goes compared to Fiddler's Green.
Fiddler's Green is nice though, and the fact that you can spend some good time in Denver, which is a great city. There's so much to do there, so I see the attraction of them being there. The only thing about Fiddler's Green that I don't love is the parking. It's kind of hard to get to because it's in the middle of the city. It's just right there.
Oh, yeah.
And, but it's a great venue.
By yourself is fun when you
forget
to park and
do
a ride.
Oh no.
He was like, ma'am, are you lost? And I was like, yeah.
I'm a parking lot attendant.
I need help. Thanks. I was
Oh,
like, do I
that's
have to
great.
sit in the back? And he was like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. But he found the car, so it was fine.
Hey, that's all that matters, right? So let's move forward. So
That's
I
right.
know that you
Yep.
have so many amazing stories. And of course, I want to get through these stories so that we can get to where Trip kind of enters the scene and becomes a fan. And how in the world did he fall in love with this? So, what does the future look like? You've gone to Alpine, you've done these things with your brother. And so, where does that take you?
Okay, so my brother was my concert buddy. He joined the Peace Corps, and
Awesome.
he ditched me, to go to Rwanda, Africa,
Oh,
and live on a
wow.
mountain for 5 years. He was in the education part. He was teaching kids English. Um, Trip was 4 at the time when he was there. He left when you were 3. So we went down and visited him. And so there was a day we all wore our Dave shirts and take a picture,
Sure.
and this and
Of
that.
course.
And
Yes.
I'm listening to Mercy in my ears while we're driving through these hills. And I'm just like, I get it. This hits a different way, seeing life in a third world country compared to what, we consider problems
Yes.
here. And I was like, I get it.
Right, right.
And Trip is 4 years old. We go to the village where my brother lives, and he lives in a little 4-wall room is his house, and it's
Yeah.
dirt floor. The the gates are grass. What else is out there's mountains everywhere.
There's a hole for a bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a hole for the bathroom. Trip
Oh,
said, I'll
wow.
hold it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the Peace Corps thing just kind of evolved. Trip and I started going after there, but leading up to it, I took a poster to Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was a random show. Trip hadn't gone to shows with me. I was going by myself. I met these great people, Dave and Angela. They stood in the pit line with me. You've met Dave and Angela. Dave came and visited us here. I visited them. I was driving through Kansas City, and I was like, I'll be at a gas station.
Oh,
Get a
wow.
hug. We've gone to shows together. And
Yes.
Alpine, Bonner Springs. We just hook up and go to things, And
Yes. Yes.
they were with me all day long. She shared her deodorant with me. Sorry, Angela, but I appreciate you, girl.
Best friends
She,
now. Best friends.
When you wait in line in the pit line all day without a lottery system or anything, it was just you line up and you haul butt, and if
Yeah.
you're there, you're there. There was no numbers
Right.
or drawings. So we
Right.
get rail on the left side. I have this poster rolled up, and she's like, "What is your poster?" And I said, well, my brother usually is at shows with me. It said, DMB, please sign for my brother in Rwanda, Africa. And it had a picture of my brother and Boyd and myself that we had met him in Dallas with some great girls. My brother, he worked with one of the girls, and then we became friends with her family. DMB family is everywhere. And
Yes, they are.
we ended up going and meeting Boyd. So I put this picture with a fire dancer on the Peace Corps logo. I mean, I made it at school with like literally glue stick, and I tried my best, right?
Yes.
So 2014, I tried my best, and I end up in the right place at the right time. I'm on the far stage right, in front of Boyd ish, like I'm a little even away from him, and I hold my sign up after the first set. It was like in between the encore, and Dave walks straight over to me, and he goes, and I'm going, thank you, I love you.
You're just shaking.
I didn't know I didn't know what to do, and so he gets down and signs it and hands it back, and then here comes Carter, and I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I forgot he had earbuds in, and I was like, do you want to go bowling? And he just smiled at me. And I was like,
do you
okay,
want to go bowling?
Well, because apparently Carter bowls.
Oh, really?
I didn't know this. before I was in the shows at the bowling alley, they said, "You just missed the drummer from the Dave Matthews Band," before I had gotten that CD in my hands, by the way.
Holy moly.
Like, oh, cool. Like, oh, well, I would love to meet him and talk bowling.
Yeah, let's bowl together. Get a pitcher of beer. Let's bowl.
Too.
Come on. Yeah, come on.
It'd be fine. So he's like smiling. Okay, lady, whatever. He gets down and signs it. And then here comes Rashawn. Rashawn comes over and signs it. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then they all, like, Jeff kind of walked by, Stefan walked by, they didn't sign it. I was like, oh, that's cool. No big deal.
Yeah.
Boyd had already walked off. I guess he didn't see it. Well, during the break, I guess they told him, there is a girl out there, you need to go sign her poster. Because he came right over to me after the encore, and he was like, and he signed it, and like, you know,
oh my
much
gosh.
love kind of stuff. And I took that. I was freaking out. My brother was in Africa. I WhatsApped him, like, look what happened. They signed this for you. I mean, just nothing but love. And everybody around was like pointing at me to like get attention, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was almost like he saw it and it was a little chain reaction. So I take it to Denver, Colorado, like a year later, while he's still in the Peace Corps, and I hold it up, and Stefan walks right over after the two sets, like when they did the acoustic and then the electric. He walks right over, and he signs it. And that is, I have those 5 guys all signed it. I mean,
that's amazing.
It's fine. I'm very thankful for the time that they took to sign that for my brother. And it's whenever he decides to pick a place to live, it'll go in his house.
That's an incredible gift. I'm sure he is so grateful just for, you know, what a great thought. What a beautiful thing for you to do, to think of him, and it completely worked out for you. I mean, I'm sure you didn't go into that concert just with like, yeah, everyone's going to sign this. Like, no, I mean, your hope was probably for one, and you got more than that.
Well, I was trying to be on the rail to be even close. Like, I didn't, wasn't sure if I was going to be close enough.
Wow.
And it worked out that it walked off where I was.
Yeah.
On that side of the stage.
It was just meant to be.
It was.
And what a great gift for your brother. Oh, what a great gift for your brother wow.
Uncle Matt is a cool dude. He's a good guy.
I bet so.
He's a really good person. So maybe one day he'll come on here and share his story.
Yeah, you're invited, Matt. I mean, surely you're going to listen to this. Your sister's on here. So, hey, Matt, give me a call.
Okay.
The space between would love to have you on as a guest. Your sister's got my number.
Yeah. And his wife is even a fan. We love her even more because she's
then we'll have
back. It's like,
oh my God.
Could be any more perfect. We love Aunt Ashley too.
Oh, she's perfect. Well, I invite both of you. Come on and tell your couple's story. The whole family's invited.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. All right, so Matt's gone. I get that signed. Then I start taking Trip. So
Trip, like, I mean, was this something that you wanted to do before your mom had even said, "Are you interested?" Like, were you thinking about it?
Not really, honestly.
What did
you
do?
I don't know. I was just always in the car. You'd have him playing. So I was like, sure, I'll go. That sounds fun. Something else to do.
How old were you?
Why not?
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years old.
5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Here it is.
Well,
so where was your first show?
Oklahoma City, May 17th.
Oh, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
2016. Do you, and at 5, I can't imagine that you would have any memories of that. You don't, do you?
Well,
or do
I
you?
do have a little from that show.
Wow.
We're sitting there. So Rashawn, what song was it? Crush?
Mm-hmm.
Crush. He walks off, he comes and grabs me, takes me like off stage
A
to the
security
side.
guard comes.
Security guard, not
Yeah.
Rashawn, but
Yeah.
obviously.
Uh-huh.
Takes me back there. I meet Rashawn. I get these headphones on, and I can hear it really good. And then listen to that, about 2 minutes? Yeah.
We heard what the band was hearing.
So you
Mama
got the
grabbed her
inter-ear, what the band has in their ears, so you got to hear that feed. That's incredible. Wow.
Yep.
Well, so, Mom, what were you thinking the whole time? Like, did you go back there with him because he's 5?
The
Yes.
security guard said, Rashawn and Jeff would like for you to come and listen to On the Side of the Stage. And I'm like, grabbing the backpack, because he's 5. I took like,
Yes.
stuff.
Of course. Right.
Grab my backpack, like, come on. And Rashawn comes down, takes his picture with us. He's like talking to him, and he does let us listen on the ears. And I was just dumbfounded, because my closest thing was getting a poster signed. Like, I thought that was a big deal.
Right.
And
I mean, that is a big deal, but this is big.
First show.
Holy shit. You set the bar high for your first show.
Mama made a boo-boo there, setting it way too high. Not
I mean,
really.
what
I'm
a
okay
gift,
with it.
though. I mean, wow. I mean, how could you not instantly fall in love? Because it's not every 5-year-old's experience at any concert to get to go on stage and get to hear, what they're hearing. And you totally lucked out, Trip.
You did make a poster. Do you remember? I think I sent Renae.
Oh yeah, it was where I drew all the band members, and
Oh,
it
how
was like
cute.
the first show.
Did you send me a picture of that?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, good. So, guys, if you're listening to this on a podcast app, just know that this is also available on YouTube, which will give you what am I trying to say? It'll give you a way to see all of the pictures that MJ and Trip have sent me, so you can follow along, have a visual story, if you will. So you get to see all of those fun memories. So first concert, 5 years old, you've had the experience of a lifetime. Most fans that have been into this band for 33 years have never had an experience like that before. So, like, when you leave, of course you're 5, Mom, you probably remember like leaving the show with him, and like was that something that he talked about for a while?
Yes. And he's got something in his hand, which he, from that first show, it got thrown to our area and they turned around and handed it right to him.
Oh my gosh.
You see those memes like at a concert and like, I have a child. And I'm like,
yes.
You
played it.
I didn't hold him out like Simba for sure.
Right.
He was dancing every song. I couldn't lift him up anyway because I
mean, 5-year-olds are heavy.
Yes. I was grooving.
Yes.
We were having a good time. Grab that backpack fast, though.
Mm-hmm. You were, priorities. You were like, I got to go. So if you didn't, since he got a drumstick, for those of you that are listening to that and couldn't see what he held up, he has a drumstick from Carter. So you walked away with not only some memories, but actual physical evidence. Oh, OKC 517. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You can never forget now. Never forget.
I know. Well, now I feel bad because I forgot the Dublin show before that. Into 2015, my brother, when he got out of the Peace Corps, we met in Dublin.
Oh, wow. Tell us more. So,
okay.
Was he just there? Was this just a vacation? You were like, hey, the band happens to be there. Let's go.
Well, it was maybe a little planned out, and my mom had a little bit to do. And it's fine. JoJo's cool. Her favorite song is Gravedigger. JoJo's cool. Ooh. She listens to Dave. So,
that's awesome.
2015, Matt gets out of the Peace Corps, and we say, how about we meet in Dublin, because Dave's playing there. I bought tickets on some weird site, and the only pit tickets that I could find, I thought that was American dollars.
Uh-oh.
It was a little more than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay.
No regrets.
It was worth every penny because Ireland, Trip went with us. He was 5.
Dude.
He didn't go to the show. I could only afford 2 tickets there.
I mean, damn.
And so that's where we met Shannon, the one who said, "Hey, get
yes, Shannon Rush. Hello, Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon Rush. We love her.
We love you.
We love Shannon, and we stood out in the rain all day long. We got there early. We held up the love sign with people. We met. It was mostly Americans in line. We didn't meet anybody from anywhere else.
Nobody from Ireland was there.
Nobody from. But the day before this concert Trip, he is so embarrassed of me. I had a nice camera with me, and I'm taking cute pictures. Like, oh, there's a cute hotel. I'm like, these guys have top hats on, and then they say, this is the most expensive hotel in Dublin, and I'm like, oh, I got to get a picture.
Why not?
Put my camera down, and JoJo, my mom, she goes, isn't that Dave? Like, nonchalantly, and I turn around, and I'm like, about to jump off the bus because it's him. I said, Dave, and he like nodded and waved, and I was like, I love you.
Of course, that's just what comes out of our mouth when you see him. It's just automatic, like, I love you.
It's fine. And so Trip is way cooler around him than I am. So I almost jumped off the double-decker bus. I had set my camera down. I said, I'm about to get off. Y'all meet me somewhere else.
Stop the bus. It's an emergency.
I've got to go. I'll meet you at Guinness. Like, it'll still be there.
Yes.
Oh, but Dublin was good. And Matt and I, we ended up getting rail.
My goodness.
It was a beautiful concert, but the end was the night of that Paris. There was a Paris attack at a concert, and it kind of suddenly ended during the encore. Like they played one song. Somebody threw an envelope at Dave, and he looked a little mad, and so they played one song and got out of there. Well, we found out later at the bar that the pub what had gone down, and there were a lot of people that had connections through Paris, and everything was shut down. Jeff Coffin walks in the little pub we're in.
Of course.
And, of course. And I, I was like, hey, Jeff. And he waved, and they wouldn't serve him. And so he left.
Wouldn't serve him?
They wouldn't serve him. It was too late.
Okay. Gotcha.
It was after the show. And so we met a guy named Patrick from Chicago, which, Patrick, if you're listening, what's up, dude?
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick. We call him St. Patrick because,
Yeah, why not? St. Patrick.
And we met him in Dublin, and he's super Irish, and he's awesome. And his wife is a saint to put up with him. Let's say that.
Literal
Heather,
saint.
you're and yes.
So, Trip, you're going to Ireland at age 5.
Yeah.
You know that's not a normal thing that kids get to do, right? I mean, that's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Oh my goodness. So, you get back from Ireland and you're like, let's do another show. And that's when Trip goes to his first show. And so, obviously he had a great time. Things happen there that don't happen to most people. And so does he ask to go to another show, or do you take him to one? Like, how does this progression go to where he becomes the diehard fan that he is going to tell us all about here in just a little bit?
It started being your what?
Oh, it started being my birthday present. That's what it is. Dave House is always around my birthday. This year it's June 1st.
Wow, so, awesome. That's the Dallas show, right? Or is that Dallas? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's always around my birthday, so that's like my every year birthday present. So my mom was like, oh, for your birthday we're going to Dave. I was like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. At that show, we met Rashawn there too, right?
That was in Milwaukee.
That was Milwaukee. That was the.
How do you keep running into the band? Are you just right place, right time? Or are you actually seeking them out? Like, how is this happening?
Well, the Milwaukee story is after this one.
Yeah, Milwaukee's right.
So it's your birthday show. Go ahead.
Birthday show. This is not the only drumstick I got from that show. I got 2.
Oh my
then one of
goodness.
the people that
How we weren't even in the pit.
well, we weren't in the pit.
We were third row back.
We were in right up there.
Yeah.
A security guard comes and gets him.
Again.
I didn't go with him this time. Carter hands him 2 sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
All right, go ahead, kid.
They love you.
Yeah.
The band
So what
loves
happened?
you.
Yeah.
What happened with your sticks?
So I got 2 sticks. One of the guys we knew, right? We knew.
No, I didn't know
We
that guy.
him. He just came up to us. He was like, "I'll buy that off you for 50." I was like, "How about 100?" And then he was like, "Okay, fair enough."
Did you sell it to him?
You gave him one for.
I gave him one for 100.
Make that money.
And I already had probably about almost 100 clipped on my little 8th birthday pin that people were giving me.
Oh wow.
So not only did I have a great experience and I went to a concert, I was also bawling.
Yeah, you were. Dude, you are getting paid to be at these shows at this point, right? Like, look at you. Oh my goodness, all that money pinned on you.
And
Oh
Uncle
my
Matt.
God. And you, oh, that's a great frame too, guys. Again, if you're listening to this on a podcast, just know that you can watch this on the YouTube channel. They have got a great frame there. It's got. Does it have lyrics on it? Is that what that is on the side? I couldn't.
And it ends
Oh,
with
it's
the
the
song I was
set
singing.
list. A set list frame. Oh my God, I love that so much. I have not seen one like that. I'll have to get the information after we get through recording on where you got that, because I'm gonna need a couple of them.
Uncle Matt got made for his birthday because that was his on his real birthday that day.
That's amazing. You'll never be able to forget. I mean, I don't think you will anyways, but that is a great thing. So so we've got a couple concerts under our belt. Why is it, Trip, that this music has become what it is to you? Like, what is it about this?
Well, right now, currently, I feel like recently, like in middle school, I've gotten really into it because I play violin, I sing, and now it's like I listen to them all the time. My Spotify playlist, I have one that's 30 hours a day that I just listen to all the time. So, all deep track on stuff.
Yeah, you know your stuff. So, obviously, like if you're playing violin, do you kind of like the Boyd era of the band? Or do you have any preferences on, the 90s, the 2000s, more current? Like, what is your favorite era of the band?
Honestly, probably 2000s, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. We
That's
still
what
had Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
But you love the buddy. You can't.
Yeah.
You
Nah, I mean, you can't. Yeah. You cannot not like him.
Let's just say I love every era. I listen
Me
to
too.
all of it.
Me too. I definitely don't have a favorite. I appreciate them all differently because they are all so different. But I would never say, well, actually, I take that back. I always say right now is the best. That's just my, and it's all, whatever's happening right now is the best because, I'm in the mindset of how I'm just so appreciative that it's even still happening, right? So I'm just so happy for the right now because we'll always have the past, but the fact that they keep doing it is my favorite, right? Like I love it. It's the chase to see, well, what are they going to do next, And now, what could they possibly do? And now we're moving into an era where they are officially going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And so, that of course begs us to talk about Boyd and how they've officially made the statement that he will be part of that induction ceremony. And, we'll see if in their performance that they do at the induction, if that's, if he's included in that. No one knows. That's the question that everyone's asking is, will he perform? Any thoughts on that? I mean, like, would you like to see Boyd come back just for that one show and we're not going to talk about him coming back into the band because that's not going to happen. But would you like to see him one more time?
I definitely would. It's kind of hard for me to remember him being in the band because my shows that he was in there, I was young.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Thank God for YouTube, though, right? You can go back and watch everything. He did have such a presence on the stage, which I feel like they all do even now, but like he had a very strong personality. And I guess if you got to meet him, MJ, like was he contagious in the way that he talked to people off stage?
Right. So when he was doing Twitter and saying where he was parked, you know, at a certain spot, you know,
yeah.
Our friend Michelle said, "Hey, Megan and Matt, you want to go? Let's go." And I said, "All right, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
We'll meet a guy in a parking lot."
I'll meet him in the parking lot. So I had bought Trip a little spaceman shirt. He was little. And so I had his spaceman shirt, and I had some DMB toms that my friend that I taught with painted for me.
Oh my!
That she hand painted them. They're super cute. And
I bet.
I called them my traveling DMB toms because I performed at a lot of shows, and I was like, "Would you sign my shoe?" Like I didn't have anything to sign besides this shirt for Trip, but I was like, He like got down. He was about to get down on the ground and like sign my shoe, and I was like, "No, I'll take my shoe off." And he signed it so generously, and he gave great hugs, and he genuinely asked like, "How was the show? Like, did you have a good time?" He was starting to get hot, so he let one of our friends put his jacket on his bus, like just very down to earth and kind. I mean, I know there's lots of things, controversy and things like that.
Sure.
When it came down to the time he was kind to me,
and
more than one, because he signed that poster as well.
Wow,
so I do miss his sound. The Trippin' Billies doesn't sound the same to me, but that's okay. I hope he comes. I'm hoping he comes for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I mean, I said this,
cool.
and you know, I never know when these episodes are going to air, so you know, I try not to say the same thing twice, but I'm still like in my head, everyone's talking about, you know, should he perform, will he perform, even though we know he's, you know, going to be there, will he show up, that's a whole nother thing, but I think so, because how could you not? This is a big deal. But will he get to play? You know, I don't know. No one knows. But what I think would be really cool is if not only he came back to play a song with the band, but also Peter and Butch and anyone that's been a part of this band in its past should just show up for this, because it took each one of them to make what we have now, and they are all such a big piece of the history of this band. And ultimately, I think that that's kind of what we need to focus on when it comes to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because it took all of that for them to make it to this. And so just remembering all of that, you know, we're not trying to change the future of the band or the right now of the band. We're looking at the past. And so it would be really cool to include all of those people in on just like one song. Give it, you know, just one song. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know what?
I mean, technology is so wonderful. Bring Leroy in a hologram.
Oh God, yes, come on, Dave Matthews Band, let's do that.
I'm like, just somebody's got to have enough technology, just like
they did it with Michael Jackson. They could do it.
It would.
Can you imagine the faces? Oh, the fans. I mean, I am prepared to be there. I am prepared to be there. I don't know if I will get in, but I'll be on the outside cheering like, I love you. Congratulations. Like, I can't wait to see how that all unfolds. And I'm just so thankful that they finally got in, because they do have a place in music history. They've changed people's lives, but also they kind of changed the sound of music, because the Dave Matthews Band really does have so many different influences and kinds of music, and each band member throughout the decades have brought their own sound, and that's changed the band. And so, you know, what a beautiful thing they've done to the industry and to so many people's lives. So again, I'm just so thankful. So let's go back into Trip's story. So Trip, you know, what are some moments that have kind of stuck out in your fanhood story that you'd like to share with everyone?
Well, I have met Dave twice.
You have. Well, let's talk about that.
Let's start real quick. In Seattle, like right before COVID happened. Like, we didn't know if we'd be able to go, but we ended up going. Since Dave was co-writing the book with Cleet Barrett Smith.
Yes. What is that called? When we were giants? Are we giants? If we were giants. If we were. Oh, something. Yes.
We go. It's a book signing, so we go with some friends.
Beth and Shannon.
Shannon again.
Shannon
Rush. Look at you. You're everywhere, girl.
She's in clutch. She's the one that told us about it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Shannon gave us the in on the scoop. Dave's going to be in Seattle doing a book signing.
So you go. Of course, you're wanting him to get to sign the book, and he did, right?
Yeah.
But what'd you do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
This is a funny story. Well, before that, I was reading one of Cleet's books, wasn't really children's book, but it was more little older children's book that I was reading. I'm like,
the Aliens book.
Yeah, the Aliens. Of course, I hand the line, pass it to Dave first. He signs it, but I go straight to Cleet
with like
three other books for him to sign.
You look like you're there for Cleet. And you are.
There's, well, me watching, I'm going, oh my gosh, because Dave's trying to talk to him.
Oh no! Yes.
What's up, buddy?
What's up? And he's like, he's pretty awesome, huh? Talking about Cleet, and Tripp's like, yeah. And then he's like, so how old should I be?
You just totally, Dave. I'm busy. I'm too busy.
You're the one who told me to ask those questions to Cleet.
I
did.
You
told me to ask
I didn't know.
I asked the questions you told me to ask.
You're a rule follower.
He's a rule follower. He did what Mama said.
But then, what did Dave say to you at the end? Do you remember?
He asked what my name was, and I was like, Trip, and then he was like, that's a really cool name, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And Trip just skedaddled out of there, and I'm like,
just another day. Come on.
Dave's like, whose kid is that? And I was like, me.
That's looking at his face right there.
Yeah. I mean, he thought he was just like the coolest little kid, and I'm over there like, ugh. I wrote you a note because I didn't know what to say to you.
I didn't know if I could speak or not, so I wrote a note to you, sir.
I did. On a piece of paper shaped as a mushroom.
Oh, well, of course.
Perfect. Perfect.
Totally wonderful. Yeah. So you've met him one time, and that's a cool experience because honestly, you kind of blew him off. Are you good? Can we hear? You good? Yeah. So you kind of blew him off a little bit.
Down from 5.
Uh-oh. Well, we're still going. We're still good. So what does the second time look like? How do you meet Dave the second time?
We were at, what show were we at, buddy?
Dallas.
What the fuck are y'all doing? Hold on. We're doing a podcast.
What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
Please don't put that on.
Oh, girl, it's going on. That's real life. Welcome to the podcast. Oh, we say fuck all the time, so don't worry.
Oh, man. My mom is
life.
Be so embarrassed.
Nah.
Oh gosh. So COVID happens. We get in the Seattle airport and people don't have enough, masks aren't on. We had to give fist bumps to Dave and Cleet. We weren't allowed to give hugs or anything.
Yeah.
Mom, I may have bought some extra tickets thinking we'd have extra time getting extra books signed.
We did.
I was able to grab some extra books for my friends and send them as gifts, so that worked out.
That's a great gift. Yeah.
It was a process. What do you mean by that, son?
Well, the Karen working there was being a little.
Oh, there was a Karen working there. She was a rule person, huh?
Oh boy.
Or was she trying to break the rules?
Well, she didn't want to accept my receipts for all the books that I had purchased. And I was like, I can get wristband again and go through the line again if you want me to.
Yeah.
And they're like, never mind, here's your books. And
she's like, this stupid Dave Matthews people. Ugh, get out of here.
Get out of here.
And if you're listening, we do not take back anything we just said.
No.
Heck no. We'll call you Karen again. She'll never know.
No.
She'll never know.
Who's even this Dave Matthews person, everybody? So.
Who is Dave Matthews?
All I do is sit in the library, read books all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't learn anything that way.
That bookstore was pretty cool. That bookstore was cool. It was like a nook and cranny kind of bookstore in Seattle. I mean, it wasn't a Barnes and Noble. It was really cool.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, it had to be. It had. Oh, there's the picture. Oh, of course. You got it on canvas. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's a good one because Dave is smiling at Tripp and Tripp is looking at Cleet.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have time for you. Cleet, let's get back to our conversation. Dave so rudely interrupted us.
Yeah.
So fast forward to Dallas. How in the world do you meet this man again? And do you pay attention to him this time, or do you blow him off again?
Oh, I definitely pay attention this time.
Okay.
So it's Dallas. Walk Around the Moon released on my birthday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
May 19th. No.
Let's see.
So we wait outside. We meet some guys. We obviously have the lottery. Me and my mom are a few people apart, but we get stage left, right?
Yep.
Right, for Sean.
Yeah.
Dave is keep looking at us and all the fun stuff.
We were on. We luckily got. It was before they had the email lottery.
Oh yes.
It was the draw number if you were there.
Oh, fine.
Well, his number was ahead of mine.
Ooh.
So he's up there.
Get on up there, son. Fight for the rail for mama.
He met some guy. He was super nice, and we ended up seeing that guy in Vegas randomly.
It's a small world. Yeah.
It's Dave. People
After
are
all.
everywhere.
Yes.
So anyway, go ahead, Troop. We were on the rail
with Uncle Matt. He's there.
And Ashley's there.
And Ashley.
Awesome.
The show going.
With what song did I cry though?
The Maker.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for it, and I just lost it. I've been
it's so good.
it.
It's a hard one to. He doesn't sing it often.
I had been to 40 shows at that time, and hadn't gotten it, and I was waiting for it, and I got it, and I just went to tears. But go ahead, buddy.
So, let's say something real quick. We parked next to the buses. We found them and we parked next to them.
Well, we got there early enough and we parked by the buses. The parking guy was like, "Yeah, come on in."
Sure. We don't even know who's here. Who is the Dave Matthews Band? Dear God, it couldn't be that big of a deal.
Why are y'all here so early? Do you work here? Like, come on in.
Yes, whatever I need to say to get in. I sell pretzels.
I have a child.
Hold that baby up. Yeah.
Simba. I didn't do that.
So then we're walking out. We see this gate wide open. We see nothing but buses there. So we go wait over by that gate. The red trucks, like with their equipment, comes passing by. Like they keep going. We had somebody with us waiting. He had to leave, sadly.
Yeah.
So we waited for an hour standing there, about
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here the gate's wide open. Dave comes walking by in the exact same thing he's wearing, and then me and my aunt, we yell out, "Look, there's Dave!" And then my mom's like, "No, that's not Dave."
That's not Dave.
My brother was jet lagged from getting in from Jordan. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
overseas and flew in the day before. Like he was like about to sleep on the sidewalk, and Trip and Ashley are like, Dave.
And yeah, and that's how I yell out Dave at the top of my lungs. I'm like, not top of my lungs, but to where you can hear.
Very loudly.
He has the two guys right next to him. He's walking
His bus
straight
driver.
to me. His bus driver
And
somebody else. I don't know.
Rob, his
Rob,
vocal
Rob.
coach.
Walks straight, like they're on each side of Dave, and then Dave walks straight to me. And you want me to grab the card?
Grab it.
Do you have a picture from this? Yeah, surely you do. Yeah. Because I know Mama whipped out her phone. She was like, tick, 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 tick,
Oh,
tick.
that's our new family portrait.
With a video of it.
You know how they started doing those trading cards last year?
Oh, yes, yes.
Of the poster? I got right there.
Oh, my
There we go.
God. It is made out to you. Signed, Peace,
Yep.
Dave Matthews. Oh, my goodness. That's amazing, Trip. Dude, it pays
And
to be
I-
young.
Yeah.
I have a child.
Yeah, I have a baby. Oh my God. Man, I'm about to get my 13-year-old and be like, listen, we're going to a Dave Matthews Band show.
Bring her.
She would fight me. She would fight me. She's like, no. She's not as cool as you, Trip.
Oh.
She's into like, I mean, she's cool, but in different ways. Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo. That's her jam. She would attack those girls to try to get to them. So, just not Dave Matthews. She would kind of pull a Trip in the bookstore and go, excuse me, sir, I was talking to someone else.
How old should I be to read this book? My fault.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So this was just last year,
This was
2023. Oh my
The day after my
goodness.
birthday.
What a birthday present. Man, you are scoring every year. And then, of course, this year again, your birthday falls. Dallas, you guys, of course, are headed there. Are you excited, Trip? Do you have any requests? If, you never know who's going to listen to this podcast. The band does know about the show. I officially know that now because they tagged me in an Instagram post. Whoop, 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 whoop. So, if anybody's listening to this, Trip, who is 13, would like to hear what song in Dallas?
For me, my mom, I want Samurai Cop. That's my favorite song to hear with her.
Oh.
It's my favorite because the first time I heard it live was the first time I heard it was live with my mom at my first show. So that's why I love hearing that. I'd love Dreaming Tree. I'd love fun stuff, but yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, so
So,
of course
all
we
the
have to.
moms try, Trip.
Yeah, moms, this one's for you. I mean, everybody wants a Trip in their family, for real. So let's talk about your name a little bit. So obviously you were a fan when you had him, when you gave birth to him, and when you found out it was a boy. I don't know if you found out the sex of the baby before he was born, but what are your processes and how do you tell his dad, okay, we're going to name him after a Dave Matthews Band song?
Well, it was easy because he was the third. He was going to be named after his dad. So it was either. So I said, we are picking Trip because of Trip Billies, and that's what we are going to call him.
I mean, my dad
What is
was
happening?
so he didn't-
Oh,
He
then
wasn't
that
opposed.
works out.
My dad was there.
Oh, that's
wasn't opposed.
awesome. I
And,
love that.
We made the trip out to Vegas in when was it? March? When did I had?
That was March 1st.
Yeah.
But we
This
left
year.
the day before
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
Well, it was a process to try to get tickets to that show. Let's just
Girl,
say.
it was. That was a highly sought after, because it was the first full band show of 2024. So everybody wanted to be there. Everybody.
And it's only 5,000. Like, how many people venue is that?
Very
Like, it's
small. Yeah, it was very small.
And we had those tickets, but I had a ticket, and then I found someone with a single ticket, so we were not together. And then it worked out that the girl next to me, her friend didn't come.
Oh,
So
who
he was
doesn't
all the
show
way in the
up?
they were
What?
sick or something. I was 6 days post wrist surgery with my sling with my 41 on it because it was my 41st show.
You were not missing it. You were like, come hell or high water, Mama's going to be at that show.
And it was your what show?
7th show.
Yep.
So
7 and 41. We couldn't miss it.
No, I mean, those are, of course, both songs from the Dave Matthews Band. So, I mean, was that your first time in Las Vegas?
yes, it was.
What did you think about it? I mean, because, you know, there's all the lights and there's just, I mean, there's so much that, of course, Amarillo, Texas does not have. So what do you think? What did you think about that?
It was crazy. It was really nice. I'm going up there soon, too. So
You're going back?
There, yep, June 6th. My dad has a bowling thing, so I'm going with him.
So you guys are all bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How cool.
I'm obviously on the mend right now.
Yeah, no bowling for you.
Yeah, that's how I did it. So
Now okay, I was fixing to say, did you hurt yourself bowling?
yes.
Yeah.
I tore a tendon and
Oh, no.
It's gonna be fine.
Of course,
But
it's going to be fine.
This was I'm trying to think. This DMB poster right up here. It says Vegas question mark. That was his Christmas. Like it's like put poster here kind of thing. So that was the poster from Vegas.
Yes.
We were able to snag one.
It's a great one.
It's a good one. We got
It really
lucky on
is.
that, too.
I love that. So what was your favorite part of that show? I mean, you know, a lot of different thoughts on the set list from that night. A lot of people weren't happy. I will say that I am always happy, again, with anything they sing because I'm just so happy that they're singing. But, you know, were there any moments that stuck out to you when it came to the Las Vegas show?
For me, Last Stop Out of Nowhere was my favorite part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was also appreciative of the last stop in there. But Let's Dance. I mean,
so fun.
There was a dude in front of us who had some light up red bottom shoes.
The whole time. He did not sit down. He did not.
Oh, no.
He was in for it.
Those are his dancing shoes.
It was hilarious. Oh. And when that song came on, he was like pointing at his shoes.
Oh.
I mean, he was hilarious.
Well, those are red light
They were red light up bottom shoes. Like
that's amazing.
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm also grateful every show, like you said.
Yes,
like,
yes. I'm never going to be sad. Never, never, because one day I will be the most sad. So I'm just so happy right now why it's still going on, why we're still getting it all these years later. And before we started recording, I told Trip, I said, man, if nothing else, this interview and this video that we're putting together right now will be so cool when you're 30 and you or 40 and have children, because at that time, this particular band will not be playing in 30 years. I mean, we're just doing the math based on how old the members are. It's highly unlikely. I mean, I don't know the future, but I'm going to say they're probably not going to be playing in 30 years. So this will be such sweet memories of things that you did with your family, you know, your uncle, your mom. And again, when you hear Samurai Cop or any of those songs, I mean, it's automatically going to be a connection forever to your mom. And I think that's a beautiful story. Mom, I know that this band has really kind of evolved when it came to emotions. You know, you loved it you began to love it for different reasons, and now your love for the band is different reasons. You know, it's just kind of piled on love on top of love on top of love. And so, you know, what a beautiful story you guys have. It's so funny because Shannon, you know, as we've talked about a couple times in this episode so far, Shannon and I are good friends. We talk back and forth. She lives not too far from me, about 3 hours, and so she'll come down occasionally and visit with me and my family, and she talked so highly of you guys. So I know that you guys made an impact in her life, and she just really was like, Renae, you've got to interview these people. They have an amazing story. And more than anything, she was like, this Trip, like, he's an amazing kid. He's done so many, he loves this band. And so, you know, it has been my goal for a while to have you on the show. And I think it's, you know, man, you're a really cool dude. I don't know a lot of 13-year-olds that love the Dave Matthews Band, but what I can say is you are a really cool dude. Your taste in music is spot on, perfect, and the fact that you know, you're a band guy, you play a musical instrument, you like to read. I mean, ladies, if any 13-year-old girls are listening, hey, Amarillo, Texas. I don't know if you're on social media, Trip. I don't know that Mama wants me hooking you up with anybody. But dude, you're so cool.
He's like, I'm on the TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. I mean, you never know these days what 13-year-olds are into. But guys, will you play a little bit of Dave Matthews Band trivia with me?
We will try.
It's not going to be terrible. I promise. I'm going to take it easy on you guys. So that's one of the things that I started doing in season 5. This podcast was born out of a love for trivia, and that's kind of what I was doing in 2020 when COVID was going on. Was, you know, we had to get together with all of our Dave people remotely on the internet, and so I was like, let's do trivia. And so that is kind of how this was born. So let's do a couple of things. Okay. So I'm gonna read the question, but I'm gonna kind of let y'all pause in between the question and the answer. So if you know it right away, don't answer. We're gonna let our listeners I'm gonna read it twice so that they can think about it, and then we'll move forward with the answer. If you don't know the answer, that's okay, because again, this is just kind of a way to learn more about the band. And so trivia is always a great thing no matter what. So, okay, here we go. What do the initials BOWA stand for? BOWA, associated with the Dave Matthews Band. What does that stand for?
Are you ready?
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Yeah.
Best of what's around.
Boom, you got it. Yes. Of course, you know, if you're not familiar with a lot of the Dave Matthews Band community, a lot of people use those initials to describe pretty much anything about the band, whether it's, you know, fans of the band, the music of the band themselves. But yeah, best of what's around. Of course, that's a song by the Dave Matthews Band, but it's used in a lot of ways throughout this culture. Okay, here we go. We'll trip you up a little bit, Trip. How about that? Okay, do you know what Dave's middle name is? That's going to be a little bit tricky. Like, we're digging into the history of who these guys are. Do you, Mama, I know Mama knows.
She knows.
I've got a cold. I'm so sorry for all of this.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, Mama.
Oh.
John, yes. David John Matthews. That is his name. And not that he ever goes by all of that. He doesn't even go by David. Although I do hear, like, family, close friends call him David. And so as a fan, we're yelling out Dave. You know, I just wonder, if we were to yell out David, would he turn? Would he look at us? I don't know. We'll have to see if that theory works. David!
Well, the DMB on the poster works.
Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you never know what's gonna turn their heads. You never know. Okay, Trip, what was the name of the very first album, that the Dave Matthews Band released? What was the name of that album?
Okay, I know what album it is. I know what songs are in it. But the name...
You got it.
Yeah, don't doubt yourself. You got this.
Say the songs.
I'll Back You Up. I know that's a song in it. That's right.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. You got it. I'm not going to give it to you.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Mama knows. Mama knows.
You know it. Remember to... Things.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Am I
Remember Two You are right. Remember Two Things was the name of the very first album that the Dave Matthews Band released. And so you mentioned, I'll back you up, a little history about this in case you don't know. I bet you do. Do you know any history about that song?
It's the first song that he wrote.
That's right. I just found that to be an amazing bit of history when it comes to him to write such a song that is so beautiful. And for it to have lasted this long, I mean, there are people that chase that song. There are people that's their wedding song. I mean, it really has just kind of come along aside the band, and it's still a very sought after song. Okay. I have got a cold. I am doing my best, guys. Hold on. Here we go. What country is Dave originally from?
The country? I know.
Okay.
He's from South Africa.
He is South Africa. So in 2019, 2019, Lord Jesus, what year is it? In 2023. It is 2024 now. I'm telling you, like this cold, this cold has gotten me in like, what day is it? I don't even know. Yes, in 2023 at the end, of course, the Dave Matthews Band made their return to South Africa. We probably watched as our friends and other fans of the Dave Matthews Band made that voyage overseas with the band. And I just, I've seen so many sweet stories of how beautiful that was and how the music was different. And I know y'all kind of experienced that outside of the United States. And so it was a sweet thing for so many people. Okay.
That couch tour.
Oh, God, yes. Right.
It was so good.
Right.
So good.
Oh, so good.
I get texts from this kid about set lists during the middle of the day. I'm like, you're in class.
You should be getting bonus points in your class for listening to that. I mean, if it's history class, you're like, hey, this is music history. We'll fit it in. If it's math, I'll add up how many songs are on the record. Like, I mean, what do you want me to do? Like,
the longest seat up. Like,
let's talk about that. What subject do you need? I can fit it into the Dave Matthews Band. Okay, what guest artist sings on the track Spoon, which is a song on Before These Crowded Streets?
I don't know, but I love that song. So
yeah. Mama knows.
Mama traded that CD off.
Mm-hmm.
Alanis Morissette, boy, people are still talking about how we would love for that reunion to happen, and sing Spoon, sing anything, come on stage and stand there. Alanis, we want you there at a Dave Matthews Band concert. There's some interesting history when it comes to Alanis and the Dave Matthews Band. Not only did she sing, but some might think, or we never know these facts, but that Dave and her were friends, and really kind of shared. Of course, she had her own amazing, and still does have an amazing career, but in the 90s she was a very popular girl. It was more towards the end of the 90s that she kind of came on scene, but man, she's a force to reckon with. She's amazing, and I'd love to see her come back and play with the band. Let's do one more, guys. I know that we're an hour in, and so guys, if you're listening to this, thank you so much. I love this episode because it's not often that we have a mom and her child, but again, it's not often that we have a 13-year-old on the show talking about their love for a 30 going into their 34th year as a band. And so again, I can't tell you how cool that is. Let's see, if I give you some song lyrics, do you think you can tell me what song it is? It's a little bit tougher, I'll admit.
I think he's pretty good with this one.
Okay.
I make up my own lyrics.
Me too. But you know what? Dave does too. So, it happens. Okay, let's do this. I swear by now I'm playing time against my troubles. Oh, I'm coming slow but speeding.
You ready? Go ahead. Say it.
Crash.
You know it. No.
Wait, no.
I'm gonna read it one more time.
41.
Yeah. You got it. Ding, 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 ding. Number 41. Yeah. No. The disappointment in her face. She was like, I held you up. Get the song right.
I'm beating my child over thinking about lyrics and not.
She's going to make you write down the lyrics 10 times so you can learn
on
it.
the chalkboard. Get over there.
Do it now. Let's do one more just because I feel like you're going to be good. You've got these. You know these songs. You know these songs. Okay, let's see. Ooh, so many good ones. Sitting, smoking, feeling high. And in this moment, it feels so right. What song?
Crush.
Crush, absolutely. What an amazing song. I never get tired of that one. You know, people want to dog on it because they think we hear it too much, but I'm here to say they can't sing it enough. I mean, sing it 24 times in a row. I'm ready. I'm like this going, sing it again.
I'm here for it.
On the rail, like.
Can we do that in Dallas together?
Please, let's do it. Please, let's do it. I mean, I won't fight for the rail. I'll tell you that right now. I've done it. It's great. I love it. I mean, who doesn't love being on the rail? But I'm past my fighting days. I ain't gonna fight for nothing. So I'll be, I am going to be in the pit in Dallas. And, that is just because the warehouse saw fit to give me those tickets. And that's the only reason I have them. But yeah, let's make a plan. And
we'll blessed us with pit this Dallas.
I really like, and I don't think that this really is what it is, but I usually can score pit through warehouse when it's a venue close to where I live. I don't know if that has any kind of weight on how they do it, but it has always been given to me for close venues. So maybe it's a thank you to Renae for living in Arkansas and traveling outside of the state of Arkansas and coming down to Dallas. Thank you guys for driving from Amarillo to Dallas, Texas. Thank you from the warehouse. That's what I think. Well, it's not, but
for Alpine we have like lawn and uppers. Like there's not a bad seat there. It's
no, and I mean just the fact that you're there is a great thing.
It's a great
Alpine,
thing.
man. The band loves Alpine. They've said it. People say it. The feeling is different. The fans are different. Everything's just wonderful. There's nothing bad about Alpine. I love it. I've only been once. I wanted to go this year, but we're gonna be in Alaska, so can't be sad about that. So yeah, I mean, God, it's all just too much.
I dropped my phone laughing.
Hey, you know what? We're just a couple of 40-year-old moms trying to do a podcast. Things happen.
Cool.
Things happen. Well, guys, I cannot thank you enough for spending an hour and 16 minutes so far with me just to kind of share your journey. I know we really did not get into everything. There's no way we can do your whole history because, guys, you have got quite the history. I mean, you've met so many members of the bands. You have all of these fun stories, but I will invite you guys to come back after the 2024 season and we'll talk about Dallas. Hey, if we can get that cool look on the rail, you guys will be on the show before like right after Dallas. Be like, we did it, the moms did it. I'll help hold Trip up like baby Simba. We'll both do it.
Mama, I got one good hand right now.
I got two, so we got three together, okay? And my husband. And I mean, it will look desperate, and it is a desperate attempt to just. These mamas need it. It's our Mother's Day gift. So guys, yeah, I think that this episode, we need to do a shout out to all the parents that are, listening to this music in front of our kids, but also, exposing our kids to different kinds of music, which I think, is just important in general for children to know the boundaries of music. I mean, there's so many different ways you can go and so many different sounds, and people come from different parts of the world, and that influences their sound. And so, it's just important to have exposure. Even if they don't like it, at least you've heard it, there's some things out there. And so kudos, Mama, for exposing Trip and really changing his life when it comes to music. Who would have ever thought that he would be a changed man because of your music choices? I mean, that's wild. Thanks. Yeah, send us a t-shirt, Sirius XM.
Thanks. It's just on all the time without me having to change his CDs.
He never had a choice.
His little sister she is not following in the footsteps yet.
Well, maybe one day. And I say this about my 13-year-old because, again, she's not into it. And that's cool. I don't hold that against her. I just say that because those are facts. One day, she's going to hear a song by the Dave Matthews Band, and that will automatically make her think of her mama. And so, I kind of hold tight to that, knowing that, that's cool if that's not for her. But man, is she going to always tie these two things together, that my mom loved this band. And, I think that we can all remember those kinds of things about our parents. My dad had such a love for Fleetwood Mac, and my mom had her different... Yeah, I mean, it was such a big band, still, is, and things that music that people talk about. But every parent has that band that we go, oh, that was my dad's band, or that was my mom's band, and the Dave Matthews Band is the band for us. And so, man, are we lucky to still have them, and I hope that we have many years ahead. But guys, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy night to share and to talk about this band. I mean, I think it's a lot of fun to talk Dave, and you guys have hung in. You guys have hung in. I mean, you guys have got way more cool stories than I do.
Well, and we forgot some, but we can always have
No, you're back.
Chat.
Yeah, you're coming back. Yeah, for sure. And guys, if you're listening to this, definitely be sure to check out the YouTube side of this because, again, MJ and Trip have sent me so many pictures that I'm going to include on the visual side of this story, if you will. So definitely be sure to check it out. And if you are watching it on YouTube, it's so important to do what every 13-year-old knows to do when you watch a video on YouTube. Trip, tell them what's important to do.
What do you do on a YouTube video?
If you like it,
hit the like and the subscribe button.
Yes, buddy.
Video, leave a comment.
Yes.
All the fun stuff.
Do all the stuff. Like it. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so that you get a notification every time I put a new video out. And then comment if you liked it. Put a nice comment. If you hated it, keep your mouth shut. Or, whatever. I don't know. But guys, again, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, we love it. You can't hurt my feelings. And even if you say something negative, I'm a 44-year-old woman. I don't care. Yes. So guys, yes, of course, a new episode comes out every week on this show, and every episode contains a new fan's story, their journey with this band that we love so much, the Dave Matthews Band. So again, MJ, Trip, thank you so much for being on this episode. Absolutely. Until the next time, guys, remember, peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band.